Okay, what's poppin', guys? Today I have a slightly controversial video that a lot of people may not agree with, but it's something that I've noticed. And again, it's just 2 weeks in the 2018 NFL season, and this is just talking about the NFL. Of course, fantasy is involved here, but I had a quick discussion in regards to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And no, I'm not talking about the Le'Veon Bell situation, and no, I'm not talking about the Antonio Brown situation. Well, Antonio Brown is involved, but not about his whole Twitter shit. We're talking today about Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown. And is Juju Smith-Schuster the new #1 wide receiver in Pittsburgh? Now, I'm not going to go too deep because it's 2 weeks, and I'm sure the numbers can be a bit skewed. I'm not going to look at as far as routes, as far as double covered, who's been double covered and shit like that. I'm just going to look at the raw numbers and what they are, and based on my assessment of the games, because I watch a lot of the 2 games with Juju, well, the Pittsburgh games, and I just got to tell you guys what I've seen. For Juju Smith-Schuster this season, I'm wondering if he's the new #1 wide receiver. At first, it was something I thought. I was thinking Antonio Brown is the best wide receiver in the NFL. I'm tripping. And looking at Antonio Brown, he's still as marvelous as ever. But Juju Smith-Schuster, he has an air about him, and the way he goes about things is fun-loving, and it's just so genuine. And of course, as an anime fan myself, him using the Rasengan in the game the other day, that was beautiful to see. But for Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown, I think Antonio Brown is more talented. But Juju Smith-Schuster, he's a bigger guy. He's 6'1", 215 pounds. Antonio Brown's like 5'10", 195, 200 pounds maybe. But Juju, so far this season, he's had better numbers. And Antonio Brown, he erupted in the sidelines last game because I think he realizes, hold up, he's getting better numbers than I am. And I am Antonio Brown, the best wide receiver in the NFL. So if you said, what the hell are you talking about, dude? Like, Antonio Brown, why would Juju have better numbers? Listen, in the first game, Juju Smith-Schuster had 8 targets, 5 receptions for 119 yards. Antonio Brown had 16 targets for 9 receptions and 93 yards. So overall, Antonio Brown had more receptions, less yards, and he had a touchdown. Juju did not have a touchdown, but he had 16 targets. So the catch rate was not very great here. In comparison to Juju, who had pretty much 8 targets and 5 receptions, which is a pretty good catch rate. In the most recent game versus Kansas City, Antonio Brown had 17 targets and 9 receptions for 67 yards and no touchdowns. So that's a pretty bad catch percentage again, in which he's getting a lot of targets, but he's not catching. He's catching a bit more than half of his targets, which is around Corey Davis level in the NFL, and that's not good at all. Juju Smith-Schuster, the last game, he had 19 targets and 13 receptions for 121 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, I want to say this. Juju Smith-Schuster, last game, he had more targets. Antonio Brown, they said he was being used as a decoy mostly. And I think on Antonio Brown, the reason why he has an issue with this is because of how NFL teams work, in which they use you sometimes in this way so they don't have to pay you. They go by your numbers at the end of the day. If you're not productive, they're not going to pay you. So for Antonio Brown, he knows this is his money that's speaking. Julio Jones just got a restructured contract. Odell Beckham just got paid. Of course, Todd Gurley just got paid. Le'Veon is holding out. Antonio Brown is looking back like, hold up. What are y'all doing here? Are y'all trying to do what I think you're doing? Because, of course, Juju is a young guy. I think he just turned 21 or 22. Antonio Brown is 30. And he's on his way out. He's older now. So I'm not sure if they're trying to phase him out slowly. Antonio Brown, he's a bit worried. So far on this season, Juju Smith-Schuster has 18 receptions on 27 targets for 240 yards and a touchdown. Antonio Brown has 18 receptions as well on 33 targets for 160 yards. Antonio Brown has had more targets, but he has less yards so far. So for me, I'm just asking the question. Do you think Juju Smith-Schuster is the new #1 in Pittsburgh? Again, Antonio Brown is 30. Juju Smith-Schuster is 21 years old. He's a bigger wide receiver. Obviously, he has great run after the catch, has great hands. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, because things are getting a bit murky in Pittsburgh. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.